What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we've got a good one I'm really excited for. It's the Mondo Real Ghostbusters Venkman, Samhain, and Slimer set. So this box is way bigger than I had anticipated, but that only adds to the excitement. I mean, look at this thing. Well, of course we'll take a closer look, but good lord. Alright, folks, when it comes to nostalgia, there is not much that is more important to me than Ghostbusters, and with that, the real Ghostbusters. Just an iconic animated series from my youth, and this is no exception. Absolutely looking forward to this one. So let's see what we've got going on. Let's check it out. As promised, today we're looking at the Mondo Real Ghostbusters Venkman and Samhain set, right? So this was the limited offering. You can still order the Venkman if that's something you want, but if you wanted to get it with the full-size Samhain, that window has closed. Taking a look at the package, we do get the firehouse there. You've got the sign up front. This looks beautiful. It has a flap too, so we'll try to see how that works out. Open the flaps, you can see the inside of the firehouse, the doors there. In the animated series version, Samhain, alternate heads, Slimer on one side, Venkman on the other. Of course, you do get the mini Samhain going into the trap. That's such a great effect. If you didn't want the full-size ghosts, with all of these, you're going to get a smaller ghost, which is just such a cool touch, man. So being able to see all that, what's going on here, I absolutely am digging it. Flip it to this side, you get the brick pattern for the firehouse building, Real Ghostbusters logo at the top. Down here, it's going to read Peter Venkman and Samhain exclusive figure set. Some important information from Mondo down there. Flip it to this side, you're repeating the same information, so brick layout, Real Ghostbusters logo, Venkman and Samhain, important info at the bottom. Flip it to the back and we get a little bit more. This looks cool back here. So the Real Ghostbusters at the top, of course you get the brick outlay again, but you've got some graffiti on there, Slimer written there, a trash can that is clearly possessed. You've got the door there. You've got a little bit of the artist and crew information here. And then down at the bottom, it just tells you it's a collector's model, not a toy. There you go. Okay, here's a quick look at Venkman and Samhain out of the box. You can see the accessories, the extra heads, the figures, all of that in there. But we gotta go further. Let's get them out. Fresh out of the box, look, I'll be honest, the price on this set was not exactly an attractive price, but it was something that I wanted to get on the shelf, right? I think you can argue all day long about price points and is the value there. We'll discover that along the way, but initial look, I probably still would be happy under $200. Not to say that I don't love this. It looks fantastic, but I don't know that we've gotten there yet. Let's take a closer look. Moving in closer, we can get a good look at Venkman here. Now, aesthetically, this set is right on point. I mean, it looks beautiful. The representations are spot on. It's the animated series in my hand, going to be on my shelf, right? So that is everything you want out of a set like this. Concern for me, probably the articulation schemes are going to be a little basic for a premium figure. Now, look, I'm not your articulation snob, right? I get a pose, I put it on a shelf, and I leave it there. So is it a chief complaint for me? No, but it is a very valid complaint because, as I said, you're spending $200 on the set. If you just went with Venkman, you're over $100 on just him. Slimer and the mini Samhain. So you kind of want to feel like you're getting a lot more there. Now, aesthetic is going to be the key in all of this. Lots of detail throughout, even like the paint in the zippers there, just to give it that little bit of extra depth. You've got the color tones right, so the brown suit with the teal collar and accents there. Details throughout the belt, you can see all of that. The elbow pads, they get some nice color in there. The Ghostbusters patch just standing out on the uniform. He's got this expression which looks really nice. Boots have some decent detail in there, very much animated. So there's no problem with the aesthetic, I'll give you that. You are on that mini dumbbell ball peg there, so that's what you'll see when you pop the head off. And then, of course, a look at the alternate head. So a little bit more stern in this appearance, but another really great likeness for Venkman. For your hands, you get an open set of hands with no gloves. You get the bottom portions of your gloves that you can just slide over the forearm. So that'll give you that long glove look. And then you get an open set of gloved hands. Now both sets of hands are the same set, just in variations of each other. So gloves, no gloves, same hands. For your articulation, the head's not going to look forward or back very much, but you do get a little bit forward and you do get a little bit backwards. You get that side to side, of course, plenty of movement around, and then you can get some rock in there. Arms do work themselves all the way around. The arms go up to about there. You also have this sort of miniature butterfly in there just to give you a little bit of back and forth for your shoulder. You do have that cut above the elbow to give you that rotation there. Single jointed at the elbow. You do have that ball at the wrist, which gives you some hinge and plenty of movement around. Nothing in the diaphragm or upper torso area, but you do have that swivel at the hips. Leg will kick out to about there, and then out to about there. You're not going anywhere backwards, really. You can get a little bit, but without forcing it, you're not going too far. Single joint at the knee. You do have that cut at the upper boot area, and then hinge and swivel at the ankle. Of course, I don't want to forget to mention that Venkman does come with a stand. He doesn't seem to need it. He's got good flat feet, stands well. You get enough range in those ankles to kind of maneuver it. So this is there if you need it, but so far so good. Moving to the Proton pack, just to take a closer look, really grabs that cartoon feel. Before you go to put this Proton pack on Venkman, you'll just pop out the buckles at the bottom there. You can see they port right in the back, and then once it's on, you can just pop them right back in to those slots, and it'll hold in place. Your blaster will have a place to hook there. You'll just want to make sure you work it a little bit. You do have some parts on there that may make it seem like it could break off or something, but it does just hold right in place. And then on the other side, you do have a place to hang your trap. So you'll see the port there and the port hole, and then that will just hang right on the pack there. The cable is a bendy wire, so you can manipulate that however you like, and then they do give you a little area to hook that down there. The stream does attach right there. You can see the port just pops right on. Looks pretty good. We'll move it over to Slimer because everybody loves Slimer, right? Right? Okay. He does have some arm articulation there. The arms will work around. He's got this base, which you can remove if you'd like, but I love that you get this like translucent green splat. Perfect to go along with Slimer here. Really nice detail throughout. Looks like he is on the high C box from back in the day, you know, just like from the cartoon straight to life. So I feel like this was captured extremely well. And then you do have this miniature version of Samhain. Again, if you have the base offering, you're going to get this with it. You won't get the large Samhain, but this was such a great touch for those that didn't want to commit to such a large ghost to go with your sets, right? You have all of these guys coming with their miniature ghost versions. So I'd like that, a nod to the team for doing that, because again, it's a really cool touch and will display very well. You'll notice when you bring the trap out of the packaging, there's nothing in there. So you do get two inserts. You get a regular one. So if you just want it displayed, nothing going on, you have that option. And then you do get the open option with your Samhain there, just to give you that. I mean, look how cool. That's going to look so good on a shelf. Kind of don't even know if I need this big guy, but Samhain was one of the ghosts that I definitely wanted to go in on. So let's take a look at Samhain. Moving in closer, we'll get a look at Samhain here. Now he'll fall victim to the same articulation questions I had about Venkman, right? I'm not going to say problems because it's not a problem for me. But again, price point, what you're getting, yada, yada, yada. Detail, though, is there. You get this great wash over the robe here, which adds a nice deep layer to this sort of burgundy-ish color, right? You can see the black low lights in there. So that does add a great amount of detail. You've got this nice bright orange. It's a pumpkin, right? So really captured. Great expressions. Reminds me exactly of the episode, and I am liking it. I do want to point out that all of the joints, Venkman included, are so smooth. I was worried they may be a little stiff, and with the amount that these cost, like I don't want to risk like breaking something right away out of the package, right? So I just want to point out that I am digging that. Of course, you can see the sort of tattering through the sleeve there. You get that depth in there. Same with the bottom here. Gives it a real spectral type of look, right? So again, from my TV to my hands. For your hands, you do get this slightly open set of hands. And for your alternate set, you get this other slightly open, sort of grasping almost hand, and then a wide open hand. So it does give you a little bit to play around with. As far as the articulation, the head will look down to there, so you do actually get some decent downward movement with that head. Not so much going backwards. You're going to be hindered by the collar here, and that will also be the case side to side, but you do get a little bit of movement. And then, of course, plenty around, and you get some rock in there as well. Arms do work themselves all the way around. You do have that single joint at the elbow, and then your hinge at the wrist. You do have that diaphragm in there, which that actually has a good amount of range. You can see you get pretty deep forward, and it gives you a little bit extra going back. So I like that. This could easily just be a very stiff figure, but they may do with what they had going on here. For your first alternate head, you get this one, which has this great maniacal smile, right? Really creeping you out, but that is a great expression. Really dig it there. And then you get this more angry one. I like what they did there. This is another great expression. Got the eyes really showing how mad he was in this moment. These teeth really hanging out, which they did pack in some good detail there, right? So you got teeth on this one as well, but you can see the gums in there. It really just adds another layer to that. You'll notice on the heads, they are just on a ball peg, so you'll see that ports right on. They pop on so nice and easy, very smooth. For comparison, here he is next to a basic Marvel Legends figure. So I chose Cyclops here because he is on the Bucky cap. Again, giving you a fairly average height amongst the Marvel Legends line. Venkman coming in just a little bit taller, probably because of the hair, but still a good frame of reference. And then for a Venkman point of reference for size, here he is with the Diamond Select Ghostbusters movie version of Venkman. Obviously a different scale, right? These Select figures are going to be in a 7-inch scale. But just to point out where these Mondo Real Ghostbusters figures are going to be, they're definitely in the 112, slightly taller than Marvel Legends, which is just about right. Alright folks, well there you have it. There is your Mondo, the Real Ghostbusters, Venkman, Samhain, and Slimer set. I got the notification the other day they were going to start shipping, so super excited because I really don't love the way this is rolled out, right? I've at this point ordered 3 of them and I'm just now getting the first one, so I don't like to be that deep into the line not knowing what I'm getting myself into. With that said, I am absolutely pleased with this set. I love it. The representation is great. These figures look fantastic. They're going to display very well. Things I don't love about these, the price point is the clearest one. I don't know that $200 or 200 plus is justified for this set, but I get it. Premium figures, premium price, yada, yada, yada. Here we are. I still bought it, right? So at the end of the day, it's on me. Would I do it again? I think in retrospect, maybe I just order the Ghostbusters themselves, right? Maybe I don't need all of these larger ghosts to go with it. Let me caveat that though, because it's easy to say that now. If it was reversed and I only have Venkman here, I would be telling you that I should have bought both, right? All that to say, folks, I love this. It's good. The nostalgia is there. It is a property that I'm very fond of, a cartoon that I really loved as a kid, and the Ghostbusters never went away from me. I'm a lifelong Ghostbusters fan, so I'm going to buy the Ghostbusters stuff. I'm going to love it. I just hope that Hasbro doesn't put out a version of these anytime soon. I know they won't be anywhere near the quality and as good as these, but still, you know, the price point will be significantly better. So Hasbro, please just hold off for a few years if you can, and then I'll feel okay. That's the 2 cents, folks. I appreciate you checking out the video. Of course, you can always find me on any of these socials down here. Most importantly, though, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe below. And until next time, take it easy.